As Ryomen Sukuna himself said, let's get to the point and make this quick. What's up, guys? I'm Pencil here, and here we're going to do a breakdown / review for chapter 265 of Jujutsu Kaisen, which is known as That Day. And ladies and gentlemen, I am freaking tweaking and geeking because we finally got a new chapter. I'm kidding. Well, not real. I'm really happy we actually have a new chapter title. I've been the decisive battle. I didn't have to deep. Oh man, I'm gonna lose my mind. I was ready for it. I was so prepared. I was conditioned. But of course, we have actually, realistically, a lot yet a little to talk about. In fact, to the point where I'm gonna slightly alter the review format just a little bit to have a little fun with it, just based on what occurred. So let's not waste any more time and let's hop right into it. Heading me, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do open to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact, you know what time it is. It's quick review time, and due to the nature of this chapter not really having much of any combat, there's one thing we'll analyze for scaling, but that means, we got 4 minutes for the plot, 4 minutes for the characters, and 4 minutes for the future. So let's not waste any more time, and let's just quickly, gosh darn, watch, you're dead. Let's quickly address the scaling for this chapter. There basically is none. This is why I'm not going to give it the full 4 minutes. The only thing I'll remotely acknowledge is that Yuji believes he can kill Sukuna at this point. And Sukuna seems annoyed by that, but he doesn't necessarily refute it. So, current Yuji can kill current Sukuna. What that means in the context of this weird domain, we have no idea. But that's the only scaling thing. So scaling, it's like a 1 out of 5. But obviously not every chapter has to be about scaling, and this chapter has other points that are very, very strong. So let's do one thick, juicy, scribbly thing for this 4-minute timer and talk about the plot. So, the plot. It is, once again, not necessarily the focal point of this chapter. Because I'll be real. Technically, we're pretty much in the same spot that we were at the end of the last chapter when they first got moved to this place, whether this is Yujis Domain or something else. It's sort of unclear. I like to headcanon at least a little bit that Yuji, based on the end of the chapter and based on the whole idea of trying to sympathize and empathize with Sukuna, trying to connect with him, I'd like to imagine that Yuji actually did know what was going on the entire time and was just stringing Sukuna along to see if he could actually understand the value of humanity, and if he did, try to get him to accept that he's been a very, very, very bad man and to come back to the warm, loving embrace of Yuji Tadori and lead the body of Megumi Fushiguro alone. But Sukuna's like, I'll tear everyone you know and love, limb from limb. Oh, there aren't many of those left, huh? Wonder whose fault that is. Oh, it's mine. I'm going to devour you, boy. After I devour every last one of your friends. Okay, he doesn't say that. He's going to cut them all to pieces. But still, yeah. Sukuna gets quite nettled. That's the major plot point of the chapter. However, this also does confirm that whatever this is, it has not done what a lot of the fandom done. A lot of people, myself included, had low-key thought since Sukuna manifested in his Yuji form, a lot of us basically thought that, so Sukuna's already finished. Wallahi, we're all finished. Legit to the point that me and a couple others I saw were theorizing that they had already died. They had just fully off themselves. If you were to cut back to the real world, you just see Megumi just screaming at the top of his lungs. But no, the two are still alive. Sukuna is still currently inside of Megumi, and Yuji has the confidence in being able to kill Sukuna. He's been elevated to some point, which is crucial considering the importance of that. Because this is the first time since Satoru Gojo that they've been actually someone of major importance with an actual proper chance of killing Ryomen Sukuna and it being narratively satisfying has actively declared not only their intent, but their willingness and capability to slaughter Ryomen Sukuna, which is something that we haven't really gotten in nearly a year. Once again, Gojo Satoru was the last person to say, oh, no, I'm gonna clutch up. And he, let's just say he didn't clutch up. But in terms of this, seeing Yuji admit this, and the plot be at a point where it does seem like we're just down to these two, and with Gege coming out in a recent, I believe it was the Jump Fest interview, and confirming that the Shinjuku Showdown is the last arc, unless the mergers still fall to the Shinjuku Showdown, I think we are entering JJK's own final stretch, which is crazy just because I'm thinking of My Hero Academia just recently ending, like the same time this chapter dropped for JJK. But still, with that being the case, the plot is solid, if only for the fact that it's so deeply steeped in mystery and uncertainty. We still don't really know whether this is Yuji's domain or not, what this truly is. Suguna mentions this being a similar phenomenon to what he could do through connecting with the sorcerer in the heat of battle, but he doesn't necessarily understand what this is, and he believes it to be Yuji's innate domain, and considering time seems almost frozen, there are no humans there, the only things that are there are like living plants and animals, and ultimately it seems like there's this awkward sense of uncanniness to it all. I wouldn't be too shocked that if Yuji may have decided to make his domain a certain type of way in the last instant. And that's why he doesn't fully understand it, but as the battle progresses and he locks in to execute Suguna, he shall understand it. So, let's hop right into... I'm scared. Please don't make noise. We're going to hop right into characters. Now, this is the highlight of the chapter. Undeniably. To the point where I kind of... I'm going to do this quickly because this is the quick review, but I want to talk so much in depth about the character. The character work of Yuji Tadori and Ryomen Sukuna is... Well, the dynamic is the best in the series. But the character work of Yuji Tadori... I'm going to say it. I know people are going to like... I'm going to say it. Yuji Tadori, now that he's fully completed, fully actualized, fully realized himself, his potential, and his own nature as an individual and the value that he has on his own, not as a cog, not as a tool, and because no humans are innately cogs or tools, no human is innately good or evil, there's complexity of Yuji Tadori, and the willingness to reach out that hand one last time, just because he's still deep down to his core is just a boy who cares about how people have to die. Whew, it's so good. It's so good because it wraps up so much about what the narrative was talking about. From the very beginning, Yuji has been a person who, in his own way, didn't really value his own life, didn't really value his existence, didn't really understand nor care who or what he was. But to see him not only acknowledge who he is, fully give into that knowledge of who, what, where, why he is, but also accept it to the point where he's willing to extend a hand to the man who he hates more in this world than anyone else, the man who took practically everything away from him, to see Yuji fully acknowledge that man, bring him to bear, put him in a situation where he cannot do anything, in a situation where Suguna is essentially forced to respect it. Yuji basically hit bro with a level 3 knockdown in the corner with perfect cell, 7 bars, sparking, and both assists. And 1 assist is Bardock B. So, like, it is I know you cannot have level 3 knockdown and then 7 bar, but still, that kind of poignance, that kind of poise from Yuji, beautiful. And once again, it is the culmination of his character arc. We have been building to this since the series' inception, and to see it finally realized is like a weight off my shoulders. I'm so happy he finally got there. But don't get me wrong, while Yuji's character work is my favorite in the entire series now, and ultimately I do think it's the highlight of this chapter, Ryomen Sukuna's own character work here is also fantastic. Because on one end, I personally believe him humoring Yuji for as long as he did was a show of respect to Yuji Tadori, not just him being there under his own duress due to an inability to act based on how angry he gets and the fact he's going to swing on Yuji next chapter, because Yuji's going to swing on him. But also, I like how it's revealed that Sukuna, and not necessarily real, we've known Sukuna knows this, Sukuna knows the value of life. He understands it. He's heard it all before, and he just does not care. No matter what, there is no saving Sukuna, because he's not a man who thinks he needs to be saved. He's someone so deeply steeped into his own moral ideology, and his, or lack thereof, ironically enough, that he does not believe that anyone else has the right, the nerve, the jurisdiction, anything to challenge him, because he stood unrivaled. And if that's not a testament to who he is and what he believed in and what he's done, what is? Who is still standing at the end? A puppet. A boy who suddenly believes he's free of his strings versus a king who's been tugging them since before he was born. Seeing Sukuna acknowledge that and respect it, but not care about it, gorgeous. And seeing Sukuna properly enraged by Yuji's declaration, as if he's going to actually lock in, maybe, and tear everyone to shreds. It's so beautiful. It's so simple. It's so clean. And overall, I cannot say that the character work had anything it needed to improve on. Aha! I caught you this time too. Now time for the last 4-minute timer. The future. Now, I am personally in the camp that we may just have to start off-screening certain things. We may just be in the final run, or this truly is the final cut to something away before we get into this last thing. Because technically, there is nothing that is immediately needed by anybody, if we're being real on the other characters needing to come in and help Yuji, if we even think they can come in and help Yuji. But with that being the case, once the floodgates are open for Sukuna, once he finally starts to dive deeper and deeper and deeper into this rage, this mania, we probably get to see him cook a little bit, then I think we're going to find out some external factors affecting this. I don't believe personally that all of these special conditions and everything that Sukuna was managed to do so far is going to be able to go uninterrupted. Whether it be Kenjaku, whether it be Yuta, whether it be Todo, whether it be, heck, Toji from the grave or whatever. I think something's going to disrupt Sukuna. In-universe, and I feel like something has to disrupt this. I don't know, I don't want to skip fights. That's the thing, I don't want to skip fights, I don't want to skip context. I would honestly really like to see what's going on with the Carvers of Urume. What happened to Goda and Rika? What is this? What is that? But I don't think KK cares. And considering it's not immediately pressing, I wouldn't be shocked if we don't cut away after the break. But at the same time, if we do cut away, then maybe things can happen. But still, overall, the future is in this weird kind of flux uncertainty state. Half of me is like, oh, well, the future makes most sense. This is going to be Yuji and Sukuna fighting. Nothing else crazy can happen from there. But at the same time, it's going to be Yuji and Sukuna fighting. Seemingly enough in Yujis Domain. Yuji with every single advantage, and Sukuna reduced down to a much more inferior form. That's a little terrifying. But I will admit, the future does seem to be drawing closer and closer to a conclusion. With Yuji Tadori finally reaching a form of enlightenment, and Ryoma Sukuna scoffing at that enlightenment and going to use it as fuel against Yuji Tadori, I can see a dilemma like that coming up. Most likely with Uyui or something along those lines. Something's going to happen where Sukuna is going to be able to keep at least a portion of his word. I know he's already torn up a whole bunch of people, but I feel like he's going to tear them up even more the moment he is properly free. But with that being the case, I do think the future. I've been rambling so hard right now, just because my brain is kind of lagging. But for the other hypothetical of the future, so we're gonna make it off screen. It's something that a lot of people thought happened in this chapter, based on the thought that a lot of us believe that he was Loki, or like just dead. But with it being the case, I could smell a Sukuna off screen just to really do something absolutely insane. But all that aside, I'm gonna stop before I go into specific ideas I want to save for some videos. That's the thing. I need to find a fine balance between what I talk about for the future here and what I talk about for the future in a separate video. But with that being the case, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, please do me a favor and leave shattered voice in the comment section down below. And thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that all notifications bell so you not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon below where you can support me for as low as $1 month, exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. So those perks will include the live reaction to this very chapter, ad-free variations of all my videos, and if you become a $25 Patreon and $25 member, you can order whatever video you want. Also, I do have a link to my Ko-Fi in the description down below. You can drop 5 beans for a short video, 25 beans for a long video, or any beans at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. Now, the thing is, thanks for watching once again. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Dad of the Pencil, writing off. I'd like to thank you to our $3 members: Zena, Greyhound, Astro, Eternal Flame, NMA, Real Rare, G Prosper, Red Wolf 4765, and Paris Arnold.
I'd like to give another big ol' thank you to our $5 patrons, Sean, Sammy, Midnight Lord 21, Kevin Encarnacion, Josh Brown, and A+A. And I'd like to give a great big thank you to our $7 members, Autumn Mornings Lazo, Fine, and That Guy. And I'd like to give a great big thank you to our $10 members, Robbie Uchiha, Jay Warrior, and Akid's Void. And I'd like to give big, hefty, juicy thank yous to our $10 patrons, Panda Goat, Michael Williamson, Metal Solid Crisis, Joaquin Munoz, and Idemo Kami. And I'd like to give the biggest, juiciest, meatiest, sloppiest, and heftiest thank you of them all to our $25 patron, Calvin Elder.